welcome to the Reflection Show with me, Martha Reed Spice. Today, I am so eager for this conversation. There have been so much talk about the girl child, adolescent girl, and all of that. But today, I want to focus on the boy child, the adolescent boy, the challenges the adolescent boy faces, and why we do not pay attention to them, and that can go a long way to even affect their adulthood. It's going to be a great conversation. Stay tuned, we'll be right back to have the conversation. We want to focus on the boy child today. There have been so much conversations and so much care and attention to the girl child, but sometimes we forget to pay attention to the boy child. Today I'll be having this conversation with Mr. Marvin Achia. He's a youth advocate, and also Mr. Daniel Opoku Jemfi. He's also a youth advocate, helping us to delve into this conversation. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
So let me start with you, Mr. Marvin, straightforward. Why does the society not pay attention to the boy child?
Well, I think the male gender is seen as the blank page.
Okay.
And then the female gender is the addition. So
the male gender is the blank.
Yeah, the blank page.
Okay.
How it's supposed to be. Okay. So the expectations is that men are supposed to be already made. They are supposed to be okay emotionally. They are supposed to be on top of their game psychologically and all that financially. So they don't really matter. So now the focus is shifted more on the girls or female because they are sort of like the addition to the men. But that's quite unfortunate. Maybe as we discuss further, we'll get to know some of the disadvantages or challenges in viewing the male child or men in general as, just the blank page. Yeah. So I think that's why society focuses more on the female. Yeah.
Dr. Danny, why do we focus so much on the girls and leave the boys out?
Well, focus on the girls. Definitely. Okay, I'll talk about what I've come to learn growing up as a young boy, as a young adult, and now here I am. Definitely, we always feel like the woman is weaker, she needs more attention than the man. Because some way, somehow, a man or a boy will definitely find a way around things and get where he's supposed to get to. That's how the world has always seen it. Yeah. So it's always been like the woman should be the one being supported and the man left to struggle on his own and then eventually get to where he has to be. Because the world believes that a man will definitely get to where he's going. But there's a lot involved. Before he gets there, that even if he gets there, there's a lot. Unfortunately, they are neglected and then the woman is being cared for. I'm sure we'll get to more of this, but
what are some of the pressures? Let me just add up to that. That hinders our personal growth. Let's look at the personal growth of the boy. What are some of the pressures, let's say, from a boy growing up that hinders their personal growth into easy success?
Okay, so first of all, the man or the boy is seen as baked already, just when he's being presented to the world. And so he's seen as, you should be tough. And from growing up as children, the girl does something and then she's pampered. A boy does same thing and he's seen as, why should you be doing that? You get. A woman or a lady, let me start from childhood. A girl is taught to do this, but a boy is expected to know it already. And is scolded for same mistake a woman did and was pampered. So a boy grows up trying to figure out how things are done on his own. And this is how a lot of mistakes are made. Eventually, the boy grows up tougher in certain ways. And when he gets to a certain age, the woman is projected by certain advocates as in women empowerment. While she was given everything from the beginning, the boy had to figure out
a men empowerment
together. So some of these challenges, the neglect a boy has to face and then figure out things for himself, some of the failures that he was rather supposed to be taught or pointed out what he failed at and what he should do better. He's left to do all those on his own, but a woman is guided and guarded through all those steps. So a boy would fail, and if unfortunately he doesn't learn from the failure and then pick up better, he stays there. So depending on the people around you and the associations you pick on your own, you may fall and never rise.
You may fall and never rise.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's how I've come to see the boy grow up through life.
And the struggle comes.
Yes. So all these struggles are born of, neglect for the boy child. But unfortunately, the pampered child at a certain point feels over pampered and doesn't know a hoot about struggle, you see. And in the end, we still have to spend a lot of time and resources to support that same person that was pampered through life and still empower and tell that person that you can do even better than the boy.
Hey, please.
Yes. So that's a lot.
Mr. Marvin, do you think that the pressures can really affect them mentally, especially affecting their self-esteem?
Yes. So hypocritically, we've all been one way or the other discriminating against the boy child. I have been very female biased.
Okay.
I mean, because I grew up with my mom, so I tend to be softer towards women. And until I got to a stage in life where I realized that that same discrimination that was also meted on me has really affected my emotions, okay, like tackling issues. Because whether you are sad or not, you're supposed to toughen up. You just have to clean the dirt and keep moving, okay? And balancing your emotions is very difficult as a man.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Even when a young man has his first heartbreak, I remember my first heartbreak. Should I tell you the story?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I got home and my mom had this CD.
So how did she break up with you? Relax on this.
We don't want to go there. We don't even know who we are talking. It was my imaginary girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. So we don't worry about that.
Okay.
But you can't reach out to your friend, a guy, like I'll call Doc and say, Charlie, if we were younger, then I'll call Doc, Charlie Daniel, my girl has broken my heart. You will be like, Jairofno, or get out of that thing and let's go and find some football and play. Yeah. So the man never gets the guy never gets the opportunity to actually vent, cry, and then at least balance himself emotionally. And he has a lot of, there are a lot of messed up young men or men, not young men, men. Okay, they are doing all the wrong things, and society complains about them. Men are wicked, men are bad, and they are this and that.
Fear men
and all that. But then when you get to the root of it, you realize that where they needed guidance and support, it wasn't there. And now it has eaten into their brains. It becomes a mental issue. So you see a man struggling, even the men who try to be good men in society, they struggle. They are hypocrites if they lie about the fact that they've got it all figured. No, none of us have gotten it all figured. I mean, I can say it anywhere I sit, okay? Because if somebody denies it, even in the churches, the nice guys and all that, they've got things in their minds that they need a bit of talking to in order to get clarity about life. So that's what I can say about the mental effect, growing up as a boy child has on us when we grow up, eventually. Yeah.
Let's look at parents. What do you think that parents can do better to have that balance? because apart from having a favorite child, I'm told that every parent has a favorite child, even though they find a way to hide and balance it. But in parenting, what can they do to not discriminate against the boy all the time? Let me come to you on that.
Okay, so communication. We tend to overlook the precious time that we're supposed to spend with the boy child. And I can say from experience that I feel much comfortable cuddling my daughter and eventually spending the whole day with her whilst the boys walk around. And it's very difficult to call.
You see yourself if you're sitting with your son.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's sit down. And in recent years when I tried, it was awkward, but I had to force myself. Let's sit down today. It's not about the baby girl, it's about you. Let's talk. What's up? What's going on in your life and all that. So I feel that parents could do much more if they are intentional.
Okay.
If they are intentional.
Keyword, intentional.
Yes. We need to say, I'm dedicating this time today for the boy. Okay. It's always been about the girl, but then today, this Sunday afternoon, it will be about the boy. So you leave the girl with the mother and then take the boy somewhere or vice versa and have a chat with the guy. It will shock you the kind of things that the guy wants to talk about. That he's been discussing with his friends, but then needed a parental touch to it. Yeah, so I would say that parents need to be intentional about their boys. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Dr. Dan, what can parents do?
Yeah. So when you talk about parents and then how they handle their kids' growth, well, I'll say I doubt parents have favorites when it comes to their children
Okay.
from both genders growing up. But then, definitely, as men, I believe it's our high affinity towards the female gender. It makes us more, likely to play around our daughters than hanging out with the boys. So as Marvin said, it's always good to be intentional or deliberate about trying to let the baby boys or the sons feel welcome to talk to you about anything they have in mind, anything they are going through. It feels more comforting when you hold your daughters playing with them and all that. But there are times you have to just let the boys feel that they're also in the same place. Yes. Sometimes they go to school, they go through a lot of things, but when they come home, I think the other way, it's the women who tend to also play with the boys. But some way, somehow, the girls kind of have it both ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
The girls
I don't know.
still
They always
have their
sneak into
fathers,
yes,
their
they have a
fathers
way
and
of-
their mothers.
Yes, so I think naturally that also affects boys' growth because I don't know if that's how God made it, but the women kind of enjoy from both sides. Yes, but if we are trying to grow or groom the boys in a way that they have a balanced emotional life, they have the thoughtfulness that, I can do everything, but I need the support of my people,
Yeah.
and I can go to them for anything I need, conversation-wise, guidance, questioning, anything that will help the boy grow up in a way he should. I think we should always welcome them to do that. Sometimes you do things one way, like how we treat twins in our communities. You do something for this and you're advised that do same for the other person.
twin.
I think we should consider doing same for
Our kids.
kids of different genders,
Yeah.
whether they are of the same age or not, so that it doesn't look like you favor this more than the other. Now, there's a lot of things the boys harbor without bringing out. And if they should divulge everything they have in mind, you'd realize that, wow, these kids think deep, but they hardly say what they think of. So if we should let them all feel on the same level as their other siblings, they would begin to know that, daddy loves me as much as he loves the other, or mommy loves me as much as she loves my other sister.
Yeah.
That way, they feel comfortable coming to you with anything. Sometimes we tend to scold them when we feel they've gone a little bit off the mark. Like, school performance.
Yeah.
Like maybe he did something wrong in the house, maybe eating with the left hand.
I don't
We
know how
expect
that
them to-
has been an issue.
Yeah. I mean, we expect them to do the things we see as rights, but then they didn't know. They are watching us, and they tend to start eating with their left. If we want them to change to rights, there are ways we do it. If it's a boy, sometimes the way you scold him, and a lot of these things put fear in them and let them lay back instead of coming out of their shells. So I think we should rather guide them with love.
And we are told, or we hear these things most often, that the adolescent age is the rebellion age, where the adolescent doesn't listen, is angry, is rebellion, etc. Let's look at that in the boy's perspective. What are some of the things that adolescents go through at that age, and what are some of the things that parents should expect, and how they can handle that? Dr. Danny.
Okay, so looking at adolescents, let's say from the early teens all the way to the 18, and if you are to extend it to the younger adults, say
2021,
21, 22, yes. This is the age that these ones are making a lot of mistake, picking up different characters, leaving the house to stay with friends under the tutelage of strangers, as in teachers. They go into boarding houses, pick up different attitudes, habits, and then when they come home, a lot of children hardly show what they do in school when they are home.
Okay.
Yes, so most kids in the adolescent brackets live dual life.
So that's one key thing parents should note.
Yes,
Adolescents can have dual lives.
That kind of dual life. When they are in school, their friends know them as some hard guy,
as a tender or a scorpion or
lion. It's most likely the gang leader in his group of friends. And then when he's home, he's that calm. He looks sheepish, But when his friends see him outside, I met a guy right in front of my house. It was uni holidays, and I was home. Now, my mom was very close, and I saw a guy I used to play with in school pass. I forgot I was with my mom, and I shouted his name. The way the guy insulted me, he insulted me so much that my mom looked at me like,
okay,
no, you see, the kind of insult he gave me was obvious.
Like, okay,
how I lived outside of the house.
We insult each other like on campus.
Yes, so he insulted me so much that it touched my mother.
Yes,
So she looked at me like, cool. So I begged him to stop. This guy wouldn't stop.
Okay.
So it's like, if you don't leave that openness and welcoming life with your kids, they tend to hide certain things, because for all you know, they've done certain things that the way you scolded them or the way you reacted to their actions made them scared to even show up half of what they do outside. So because of that, kids will definitely not come home and then let you know or open up to you regarding what they do outside. Yes, the society expects so much from the boy child that he doesn't get a chance to learn through his mistakes.
That's true.
Yes, now if you do something wrong right now and then you are branded as, that's how they are. These young boys, they're always going around drinking anyhow.
Yeah, generalized.
For all you know, he just saw you taste one bottle of something alcoholic.
Yeah.
And that could be the time he could have helped you change.
That's true.
You see, but you are branded as, that's how they are. Go about drinking and smoking. The next time, you're on your second bottle. You are smoking with friends, you see, and it keeps going. So you get home, you portray a different lifestyle, you are back to it, and there's that line where you cross, and certainly, definitely, you bring it back home. And at that point, there's no turnaround. To be a little bit contrarian, I would say that there are other adults also who have gone through that discipline and are in that quote, but still look down on the young boy as leave them, they will learn from it instead of guiding them. You understand? And the boys in turn look at the adults and like, oh, they are all doing it anyhow. So let's keep going. We'll get there definitely. Yeah, so all these challenges that we leave the young boys to face and also in a way leave them to learn from us, kind of guide them wrongly. And if you don't get the right contacts that will help them to move away, they keep learning the wrong way, and at a point it's difficult to turn around.
Mr. Marvin.
Yeah.
So at that point, just take us through some of the issues that the adolescent boys go through and what parents or the society should expect. Are they rebellion? Are they what? Just explain that season of their life for us.
Yeah, generally the adolescent period is a confusing phase in anybody's life, even including the girls. But most especially for the guys, it's a phase that they want to pick an identity. Okay. So, and I always ask myself that if you are not there to teach them, the internet or the stars the superstars and all that will teach them. So you realize that they pick a concept in their minds. For example, there is this maybe musician who has some dreadlocks or something, and your son is so much in love with that person, makes that person the mentor. So yeah, the person goes to a studio, breaks things on the table, misbehaves. I don't want to mention artists and get myself into trouble, but they'll be like, yeah, that's my mentor. So me too, when we go out there, I will show people that I'm that kind of a person. And that's what we describe as rebellion. You see, at that point, you want to show your father, your mother that you are a concept on your own. You are no longer, they used to refer to you as Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so's son. No. I want to go out there, then my name will be mentioned that I am Scorpion or I am gang leader, that kind of a thing. So it's a very touchy aspect for parents to be very careful about. And I talk from experience. I have an adolescent boy. I realized that that's the period that I have to be more sensitive to his needs. And find a softer touch in, for example, I saw his DP, like some guys with some dreadlocks. I'm not saying dreadlocks is bad or anything. I saw some DP and I was like, oh, can't you get a better DP? Then I realized he changed it to the younger sister's picture. Then I tried to explain to him why he needs to represent himself in a certain way out there. Okay, every human being has the wild aspect. Okay, but then to grow to be a responsible young man, you need to learn when to suppress your wildness. Okay. I was telling somebody, they say, Mr. Marvin is a soft guy. You don't know. You've got no idea. If you see my wild part, but if you get early wisdom, okay, you'll be able to manage these things. Yeah, so I remember when we were in Jesus, my friends and I were making fun of our teacher. And they caught them. I wasn't part. And then they asked me to come and explain why I wasn't part. Then I was like,
why? You've been expected to be part of the...
No, like, he wanted to use me as an exemplary person, But the guys knew I was part. Okay, so it's not double-faced. Yes, it's not double-faced. You laugh at the teacher. Okay, all kids do that. How dare you come out and actually say it or make it obvious? You can't do that. So my policy was that, fine, I'm a kid. We are laughing at the teacher. But I am not trained to come out like boldly and say that he has a short leg or something. I can't do that. So that's why I wasn't part of those who were caught. So when he brought me and I said that, I remember very well. He said that this is a philosophical child or something like that. Even that funny statement like, this somebody who thinks. Because he said that he doesn't have a problem. He knows that we do that stuff. But then you can't be bold to tell it to his face. You understand? So that period in an adolescent boy's life is a period that you should expect that he's going to be wild, he's going to be all that, he's going to come out strongly. you don't meet him with, you don't become an opponent.
Yeah.
It becomes a fight.
Yeah.
It becomes a battle. And then, you know, they are smarter than us these days. For the first time I got to know archive on WhatsApp, I saw it on my son's phone. I wasn't using the feature. I was like, oh, if I had known, this is a good feature. That I was like, you have archive, and if you have like 2 passwords, wow, you know. So they are smarter than us. We can't win that fight.
That's true.
Buy them over. Tell you are a rebel. Yeah, fine. I used to be a rebel to come. Let me teach you some of the ways. Then you use it to
now with AI. Sometimes I wonder what will happen in the next 2 years.
It will be serious.
Yes.
It will be serious. I'm not saying, but if you are a father and you drink beer, alcohol, when your son is 16, invite him.
Let him drink.
Let's drink. Let's
no.
Let's see.
No, he's not
I'm
inviting
trying to
to
make-
drink with him, not
Yeah.
to taste.
Not to
beer.
taste.
Okay.
I'm trying to be very philosophical, and I'll be careful about this. If you are a parent and you have a lifestyle, don't ever think that your kids do not know about it. They know about it. The more you try to hide it, the more you are creating an opportunity for them to also grow their own empire down there. Okay? So when you bring them on board, explain certain things to them. Okay, I started drinking alcohol when I was young, but you know how I do? I have 1 bottle a day. So you can't go out with your friends and have 10 bottles and then go wreck somebody's stuff. You understand? Everything is done in a certain manner or a way. Okay? And it's hypocritical when we try to say that, okay, I'm doing this because I'm an adult, so I can manage it, and he can also, I don't want to expose him. Everything you know, they know about girls.
They know double.
They know double.
But that was my next question I was going to ask about. Yeah, you
Should I jump on it? About girls, for example?
No, you finish this part, and I want us to handle that.
So they have a fair idea, and then it becomes a battle between you and them, and then that's when the gap grows bigger or larger, because then nobody wants to sit with the opponent.
Yeah.
So it will surprise you that your child sees you as a threat. So he's keeping everything underground, and like Dan said, he'll be in school and he's the gang leader, smoking the weed and even buying it. He's the main distributor, but then you have no idea. And you sit at home and go like, oh, I'm taking care of my kid, he's growing up wonderfully, but then you're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
So we have to buy them over.
We have to buy them
Yeah.
over. I want us to take a break, and when we come back, I want us to delve into a very sensitive part of the conversation: the adolescent boy and sex.
Okay.
And or let me not say that, the adolescent boy and relationships. Let me leave it that way,
All
so
right.
that we can delve into that, because it's a very crucial component that sometimes we become hypocritical to discuss it and help them.
Yeah.
But I think that they really need a lot of help. We'll be back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle, and many more.
Welcome back. It's still the Reflection Show with me, Martha Inspires. You see, the boy child needs our special attention as well. Let's allow the boys to cry. You know, there's one common thing I hear, that a man doesn't cry. And that is why sometimes when they are having so much anger in them, and they can shout on you, they can do that, be like, oh, he shouted at me, or he reacted in a particular way because he has bottled a lot of things in him. So let's allow the men to express their pain. I believe when your daughter comes to you and is crying, daddy, this, and you are sometimes like a little thing, and a girl is allowed to cry. maybe her teddy bear fell or her toy fell.
Something simple.
But if your boy comes and say, Daddy, somebody used pin to choke my ball, be like, so because of what you are crying. So let's give the same attention to our boys. But let's look at the adolescent boy and relationships. Mr. Marvin, let me start with you.
Why do you understand? All right, that's fair.
So the adolescent boy and relationships. It's a dicey conversation on that. We see a lot of young boys having the urge. So you take us through the urge. How does the urge see? You've been an adolescent boy before. Maybe now it's different. Oh, now you have 16-year-old boys who have girlfriends, 2-3 girlfriends.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And we were good boys, so.
You were a good boy, so yes. So just take us through that emotional journey as an adolescent, the attraction phase, and what age do you also think that is good for a boy to start having a relationship, and how can they manage emotions for the opposite sex?
Okay, this question is very pregnant because, like you said, it's dicey. Both boys and girls have a certain edge towards, like, the opposite sex in their teens or in their adolescence, but girls do it more slower because they are trained to consider themselves as people of integrity quite early. If you show until recent times, girls were not comfortable showing their nudity. They need to protect it and all that. Guys can take off their shirts at any point in time. So guys are more aggressive when getting into that phase of being attracted to the opposite sex, and their sexual urges are stronger than girls during that period. Now, what we fail to understand is that we think that it comes later, but it comes very early.
Okay.
As early as JSS, girls are interested in seeing naked women. They are very, very interested in it. So as early as JSS, guys would want to, like young men would want to hide, peep at naked women or get access to a pornography thing. And you see, because the concept has become so mysterious, nobody's willing to talk about it. So we get boys growing up into men who have a lot of fantasy, and then when they get money, they want to make sure that they get all those fantasies. So for a young man, as early as maybe 14, a parent should be able to have a discussion with him about, hey, this girl in your class, do you have a girlfriend? He may shy from it.
What a girl you like?
Yeah, they've been teasing me with this girl. Okay, so do you like her? That kind of thing. He'll be feeling more uncomfortable, but it's better to let him know what he's going through. Because pretty soon, they start having, erection and all those stuff, which are natural. You can't take it away from the guy. So it will only be pretense to say that my guy is not ready for sexual action. You are just joking to yourself. So guys, when they are growing up, they feel that because my parents might look at me at this way, I need to hide, be very discreet with my sexual attraction and all that. You see him liking a girl, but then he will deny it. Okay, because he will think that you think he wants to have sex with a girl. So you have to create that kind of environment where you let him understand. You understand that he's attracted to this girl. Isn't she nice? It's normal. She's nice. She's a very lovely girl. So yeah, you can have that friendship. But you see, at this stage in your life, when things knock things, there's going to be pregnancy. When you touch her in this way, there's going to be some trouble. And what do you want to achieve for yourself? Do you want to be that big time architect or the pilot or whatever you want to be? You see, these things are going to cause you not to be able to do that. So you know what? You can maintain that friendship. If you like, invite her over. Let's know her. Like, this is your friend. Then we'll be able to guide you guys, talk to you guys and all that. So it's how wrongly we make boys start relationships. They hide it. Women, girls also hide it. But girls can even tell their elderly sisters or friends. But a guy could have a girlfriend and keep it for a very long time. And by the time it comes out, the mess had already been created. Okay. So I feel that there's much more to be discussed in terms of relationship, sex, and then the boy child. a lot of guys grow up with very wrong ideas about women. Okay, some objectify women like they are sexual objects. Some do not even know that we can have a very close friend, female friend, that you share your secrets and everything with, and she can be supportive to you emotionally when you are not ready to have a sexual relationship.
Exactly,
yes. And she can even proudly say she's your girlfriend. What's wrong with that? You can also say you are her boyfriend. So far as you guys are not having the sexual aspect of it, you can boldly walk around and feel good about it. So I think it's not the fault of, not totally the fault of the younger men. It's just society have created that kind of concept that if a man shows interest in a woman, it's sex.
That's
true. It. Yeah. So that's what a lot of young guys battle with. So it rather makes them go straight for the sex. Because that's what you think. So that's what I'm going to do. But if you think that, oh, you can have platonic friendship and then you and some girl can sit. And our grandparents do that a lot. I don't want to share the story, but they create that concept. Hey, why are you standing there with the lady? You can't be in the hall with the lady when we are not around. You can't do that. They say all those stuff.
And it's possible that you can actually be there and you haven't even thought about
it. Yes. Yeah. So sometimes the older people who create that perception.
You need to think of it.
Yes.
Why are they trying to leave me alone?
Exactly. Then that curiosity will let you. Oh, so if a guy and a girl are in a room alone,
there should be something.
It means there's a possibility of doing something, because the way these my parents are doing there. So let me try and see. And then they start a relationship based on sex.
There was a video I saw, and two girls were walking, holding hands and giggling and all that. And I think another guy was coming. It was a video of white kids. And one of the girls left their friend and went to her. You know, white even went to hug the boy and even gave the boy a peck, and they were all three of them now started walking together. And they showed, like, you know, they always do this American and African thing, thing. And a girl holding a girl and tried to hold an African boy. They were like, how can you hold a boy like that? Like, I think they're about 4 or 5 year old kids. So imagine a boy and a girl holding hands. You even start hearing some saying, oh, husband and wife, these children. And I'm like, they don't even know or even think of what we are thinking they are doing. They see each other as the same age group. They are playing in the sun and they are holding hands. But once a 5-year-old boy and girl hold each other's hands, you see us looking at them. Hey, these children, look at them well.
So you asked about what age can a guy start dating, not have sex.
Yes, no, start dating.
So I believe that when a guy is in the university and finds a very supportive woman, we should allow them to introduce themselves to us as parents, and then we start guiding them, like counseling them and all that. You are just friends, supporting each other's education and with ideas and all that. Okay, so that a guy gets to understand the concept of this whole friendship or relationship is not based on hiding and doing stuff, but it's about, you know, making the world know that this is a special person that I want to possibly share the rest of my life with, and it's okay. So university, that's okay for me. I think that if my son brings a woman home, a girl home during his uni days, I would be able to sort of like support it, because whether we like it or not, it's going to happen. Okay, a lot of parents have kept their children at home, especially girls, and they expect them to marry when they hit 20, later 20, and they're like, would they go to the market and pick husbands? They won't do that.
When we are adolescents, they say beware of dogs.
Exactly.
When we are 25 upward, they say ice blocks all here.
Exactly. I saw a video like that. Yeah. So at the point you can come in. At the point it has to start. I traveled and met a family with their young, like the mother and the children. The children are a bit like in their 20s, and they have a younger sister who's like 18, who's in the university. And they traveled all the way out of the country with the girl's boyfriend. They spoke to the guy's parents, like, we are going on a family trip. Your son is dating my daughter.
You want to go?
Like, you see how rich people do their things?
Charlie.
And they were having a nice, I was really, I admired them. I was like, really? It happened in Ghana? You guys are outside having families. But that was rich parents who can talk about this.
Rich parents can talk about it. I know, right? wow, like you go. Sometimes I'm just imagining. I'm like, so one day I go and sit in front of my parents and say, I want to marry. Bring your house. You know, it's funny. No, come on, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you're going to introduce. No, if you're introducing the man to your family, it's fine. But you know that kind of, if you're in-laws, like to go and now sit down. Yes, I want to. Yeah, I'm the one your son wants to.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, what's up there? So,
But
boys
fine.
and relationships.
Well, boys, you know, boys, once they, let me say this first. I think erection starts very early for boys.
Okay.
I remember playing with my friends, that was before, somewhere around SS. I was playing with my friend's kid brother, and then, no, he was asleep. So I picked him up, and I realized he had an erection. I was like, what? The guy was like 4 years.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, nigga.
It's natural.
So I was like, this guy has an erection at 4. So it starts early like that. I didn't know. So growing up, I realized the sexuality of boys, it starts early.
Yeah.
You know, women, it's lately that
Yeah.
a little after 10, they start getting their menstrual cycles. Boys start the erection thing very early. And you know what erection comes with.
Yeah.
So if at an early stage, he's not guided well, and then now in our modern day, a boy starts playing with him, problem has come.
Yeah.
So I believe that as early as possible, we start guiding them regarding sexuality. We watch a whole lot of things in the house. Now these boys sit by us watching. The girls have been trained to see themselves as the ones the guys are coming for.
Okay.
Most of the time, they do not initiate the action regarding relationship and
Yeah.
sexuality. Most of the time, even though lately, you know, some women go all out and then expose things. But the boys know that the onus lies on them to pick a
Yeah.
woman. Going forward, maybe 2, to show their friends
Yeah.
that they have more.
Yeah.
So if we do not start talking to them about the need for friendship, it's okay to have friends who are from the opposite sex. You can have girls who are your friends,
Yeah.
you play with, you can come home with them, feel comfortable, leave them to play. You see, before you have spoken to them that growing up, we had a lot of things from the boys or from our children. Somebody was asked how a baby is made. He said when you eat too much, you become satisfied and you become pregnant.
Your stomach
and then
becomes big.
You become pregnant and
Or
later you
God gives
give birth.
children, so you pray to God, God will give you a child.
You see, and this, you are talking to children who are in their early teens.
Who are using AI?
After like 2-3 years, they begin to learn biology in school. And the teachers sometimes, excuse me to say, give some kind of information
Yeah.
and play with certain things in class that some children come home and ask you questions you don't expect to hear from them.
Yeah.
So your child will just come to you and be like, our teacher said that if you go and have sex and you don't wear condom, the woman will get
And you are like,
pregnant.
I've never discussed this with you. How did you
And
know that?
Yes, and he's like, so our teacher even showed us condom. Before you know, the boy is hiding condom. I know an adolescent who was having condom in his books.
Yeah.
He had hidden it in his books. He treasured it so much that he wanted to keep it and know how he can use it later.
Yeah.
So the boy has been fantasizing. For you know, he's simulated sex several times
Yeah.
in his mind,
Yeah.
in his dreams, and that's how come some of them keep having wet dreams.
Yeah.
So if you are not speaking to them in ways that they will cherish friendship with the opposite sex until they develop the next level of emotions and begin to think of, well, my parents or my teachers say that at this time we can start talking about these things. Before you know, they have jumped into it and started having sex. And then your advice will be falling on some rocky
Yeah,
grounds.
yes.
Because some of them, start before you talk to them, because the teachers already opened up stuff to them. And so it's only a few of them who will come home and even ask you.
Yeah.
Some of them, once the teacher has told them, this guy, I saw the thing in his bag, in his books. Yeah. I was like, what are you using this for? He said, the teacher said that when you use this condom, I said, but what need do you have for it? Are you already do you have a girlfriend? He said, no, but when I get a girlfriend, I will need it. I like that guy. Are you okay? Okay, fine. So, have you seen a girl in your class you like? He's like, yeah, there's this girl, I like her. Oh, okay. So, is she your friend? The girl is not even his friend yet. So, I'm like, okay, well, she can be your friend. One day you can invite her to the house. You see, now, the girl can come to your house. You have a normal, playful relationship. You can have contact with the girl's parents so they know that the girl visits your house because of this boy. Yeah. You know, the guy begins to understand that, okay, it's okay to have friends outside your home that your parents also know. And it doesn't necessarily have to be one because he's thinking of a girlfriend. Yeah. He can have different female friends. Yeah. A lady visited me, I mean, when I was growing up in my early teens, and then I realized that my people were hiding everybody in the house in the living room because I was with her alone. So do you know what happened? Because of that, I told her not to visit again. Yeah. Exactly. If she wanted to visit, I'll meet her outside. Yeah. That's not nice. You see, so we should open our arms for boys with female friends to come in. We should encourage them.
Sometimes they are not even thinking about what you are thinking.
No, I wasn't thinking of that.
Yeah, and there's a catch too. You know, when parents are in support of something, they understand you. When you're about to do the wrong thing, you go like, oh, I don't want to disappoint them.
You don't want
to
the
support they give us.
Yes.
And you see, so a young guy can say that, we're not there yet. Let's not try this, because when we do that, see the support your mom and your dad gives us, and my parents.
You'd even be shy.
Yes.
To do that. And the lady, even if the guy has gotten head over heels to want to do, the lady might think, oh, I'll be shy of your parents. So if something happens right now, your parents might not like.
Yeah, and even that also prevents some of these abuse cases. Like the example you gave about the family that is going on vacation with the daughter's boyfriend. You can't shout on that girl.
Yeah.
No. You can't slap her.
You can't.
You dare not.
Because the mother and the father, they're giving you an opportunity to be with us.
And probably they have counseled you through these abuse things and all of that. So I think that the parents really have a role. But that's if the parents also understand these things we are talking about.
Well, in our current dispensation, the parents should understand. They have to. Otherwise, the kind of exposure the kids have right now,
it's too much.
It's scary.
Sometimes we over spiritualize ourselves and our things. How many Christian families with the 18-year-old daughter goes and says, Daddy, I'll have they will start saying that, and now the Bible says,
the master
Yes, if I had asked my mother, that's what she would have said at the time. Yes, because it was like, that.
Don't Christian you know I'm an elder, I'm a deacon in the church, but probably, you see, I like what you mentioned about they will guide you. Once you even start showing the emotions, I'd say that when you are giving something freely, the urge to hide and take it is not there.
It's not there,
But it's like once you are hiding to do, that is where you want to do everything.
There's more fun in it.
There's more fun in it.
When you're hiding to do something, it's sweeter.
I was going to say something. I remember that I was
the stolen bread is the Bible.
I was going to say, thank God for touching my mouth.
So don't say it. The Bible said that. Yes, the Bible said it.
That the stolen bread is the sweetest.
Ooh.
Yes. So when you hide and do it, it's nicest.
Nice.
Yeah, and the kids feel it. No, the niceness is not in somebody doing it, you seeing it. It's the feeling.
I get it. I didn't want to.
And the emotions are there. God created us with that.
Yeah.
So as boys growing up, they experience it. They get the feeling even before you talk to them.
I remember let me just chip in. When I was in school, SHS, we were so attracted to women that when one female passes through campus, it's like
it was a boys' school.
Yes, it was a boys' school.
Everybody steps out.
So if a girl comes to your school,
one girl is passing, you were elated,
everybody
excited, everybody will be shouting.
People run out
why
to
don't you
their
have
boxes.
female teachers?
We have, but then they are not our level, you know.
We're looking at our level.
Even then, if there was a female teacher
Young lady.
who was young, she would be our imaginary girlfriend.
Now let me share my
Definitely.
primary days experience. That one I was a kid, so I'm sure they won't take it.
It was just a childish
thing. So I actually told my friends I liked was she an English teacher? Yeah, I liked my teacher.
You like SS? You liked your teacher?
SS.
No,
primary 4.
Primary 4.
Yes, yes, I liked her. So I told my friends, Charlie, I love this madam. So they were like, how? I said, no, I love her.
But you know, sometimes
No,
when you
loving
say
her.
that I love her, it might not even be the kind of love.
Of course,
no, I just like.
You are exactly
she
it's
knew
like
how to,
you know. I
attended to
can. I
us.
know. For example, you can look at him and say, "Oh, I love you,"
No,
and you
I
understand.
You say that to me. You say that to me. I want to discriminate against the boy child.
You don't want him to say that he loves you.
No.
No, he knows I love him, but I will not tell him.
Yes.
Not that way. You know.
We can do this and we understand that.
We understand that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I want to
but I
say
won't tell him.
But once I say I love you,
yeah. That one sounds better. See the way you do it again. Say it again.
It should be from him.
I hope your wife is not watching. But I'm trying to make it like if I say I love you, the society would misunderstand it to look sexual or you want to cheat on your wife or something.
yeah.
But it could just be like I just love your personality or
Yes.
I just love you.
Yes.
So
No, there are people we love who will go out of our way to do certain things to make sure they are fine,
Yeah.
but not necessarily sexual.
yes.
And that's why I'm saying that we should guide the young men to cherish friendship.
That's true.
So if you cherish friendship, that's the first thing you look at before you want to, abuse a woman.
Yeah.
You would not abuse your friend. Ordinarily, you would want to help her, whatever she's going through, or whatever you think is good for her, you want to help her go through. So that support is there, born out of the love you have for her as a friend.
Yeah.
Now, it's later on that if, we say, oh, you've got into the university, now you can manage things on your own. You are given money to go to school, weekly money, monthly money. You can manage that money you've been given for a week, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You are getting there. You can manage money to some extent. Now we deem it that, okay, you can manage a woman that you see as a friend. You can take it to the next step. But I believe that the parents should still be in the know, because the boy sometimes feel that he's got it all figured out. He thinks, sometimes you realize that you'd introduce a woman to somebody and you are scared of their opinion.
Yeah.
So you rather stay in one corner.
Especially if it's somebody that you really respect, someone you really honor, or somebody whose opinion about something for you has never failed.
Yes.
You know,
So
I've had people like that who will tell you that, Martha, don't do this, don't venture into this, or I'm not comfortable about this.
Yeah.
And 99.99%, what they say is true. So when you meet someone, you want to introduce the person to them, especially if it's someone you really like, and you're like, I'm not so sure. You're like, oh, they've even broken your heart before the person breaks your heart, because you know that their opinion do not really fail.
Yes.
So
you are scared to let them go contrary to what you are feeling, so that you don't get to exploit what you are thinking of. You don't want to enjoy that cravings. Yes. So rather the young boy will stay at some corner and still enjoy what he's been thinking of, his fantasies, before it comes out. Yes. So if he knows that, and looking at the kind of friendship you should, what kind of friendship should a boy keep? You get it? Is it a lady who supports in certain ways? A lady whose friendship gives him some growth, adds up to his development? You could have a girl who is good at, good in class, teaches you sometimes, and doesn't rub it
in your face.
Your face wherever you go, wherever you meet her. You get it? In public, you cherish that person. You bring that friendship home for the blessing of your people.
Yeah.
Can I ride on this and say that to become better versions of themselves or better men, this whole thing about relationship, we should tackle it very wisely. Open it up for, you know, both genders, okay? For guys, once we are short of ownership, we are cool. Guys are territorial. If I know this is my female friend, Martha, and then we are cool, she comes to me, exclusive attention, a guy would not be so much in a hurry to have sex. Now what happened, what happened, and then most of the young men, we get messed up before we grow, is because there's always this competition on the street. It's like a jungle out there. I may decide that, okay, Martha is a good friend, I'm not going to have a sexual relationship with her, but I'll be there for her always. And then the next thing I hear, another guy has touched it. It's very painful to guys. So most guys think that, let me shoot first before another
Meanwhile,
person.
you can touch our friend.
No, relax. I'm coming. Relax.
Oh, I'm not taking
You see how we are lenient with the discussion?
Yes.
Boys advocates, we are not being hard.
We are not being hard.
So I
You
should
see, we are even touching a bit on how
So
to make a woman.
Today we are looking at the perspective of boys.
Okay.
You see these heartbreak things and all that you've been talking about. Girls, you have heartbreak.
We are not
and all
taking
that.
it hard.
Young guys have a lot of heartbreaks that you don't know about. He may be committed to, I say, when you see a big boy who's a bad boy, ask him about the past. He will tell you something that made him to start having backup women. Okay, and I'm going to be very frank about it.
Backup women.
Backup women. Men are very territorial, like I said. As soon as they realize that, no, I don't have control over this woman, like this girl, she wants to flirt with all the guys in our class, okay, then a man thinks that, oh, okay. I mean, naturally, men have that instinct, that polygamous instinct already. So yeah, I'm trying to be a one-woman man, and then this is how it's gonna go. Then let's go, okay. And then, but they don't do it. We don't do it proudly. Sometimes you feel that awkwardness. You want to be committed. This is Martha I like, okay. I don't mind if every day I'm spending time with Martha, but is she within my reach? No, she's not, because she plays it, she comes, and the most manipulative people in the world, okay, and I'll say this carefully. Should I say it?
Go ahead, say it.
She knows, don't worry.
I don't know.
The smartest people in the world are women. The smartest people, you know that.
They prefer smartness.
If a woman wants to bait you or tease your emotions out of you, it's very easy. She can come small, she can go, she can come, and that messes up a man actually. So until we marry or we know this is our wife, then we are a bit comfortable. But if it's girlfriend, you want to be on the rampage, and that is the opportunity I will use to advise younger men.
So now you're also playing your game.
You have overplayed.
No, take
the
your
level.
time.
Hey, doctor, I don't know. I've forgotten. Today is not about. It's not a fight.
Today is our
Boys. It's about
It's
boys.
about boys. Go ahead.
You see, women have taken this, this advantage over men, and men are very weak when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Yes, they claim they get the worst heartbreaks, but men cry so much.
We claim?
Yes. And you see, when you see
yours is publicized.
Okay. Yes.
Go ahead.
When you see these short videos about how people deal with heartbreaks, it's always women.
Yeah.
Women who are claiming it's worse for them. And no. But as soon as it's off, they show outwardly that they are hurt, and the next time somebody is there. Because whilst you are fanning it, somebody else is.
They are doing monkey branching, you know.
At the corner.
Please, I want to calm down. Let's take a break. From the break, we are here to wrap up. So now, continue from what you were saying, but I really want us to. We don't have so much time now, but just highlight on that. And
I'm saying I'm afraid. The point is that women shy away from accountability and responsibility a lot. That is why when there's a pregnancy, we put everything on a teenage pregnancy, we deal with the guy more. But there were two people who had, maybe consensual intercourse. The point I'm trying to make is we always create the impression that men do not have feelings. And like I was saying earlier, women were created out of men. And women have a lot of feelings. So you can imagine that the reservoir, the warehouse of feelings is a man. But that's the mistake we make. Think like, a man should, like you said, a man shouldn't cry, a man shouldn't be worried about if a woman, Sarkodie rapped something, said women can cheat, but if a man cheats. Because our cheating or our wrongdoings are publicized a lot. A man goes to pick a girlfriend, okay, even though he has a woman. He goes straight to King David to sit there with a girl. He's already spotted, and they'll go and report him. A woman decides to cheat. Do you know where he meets her lover? You have no idea. You can never suspect it. Okay, so as we are working on young men, in order to stabilize them in terms of relationships, we need to work on our young women as well. That it is an exclusive relationship. When you get into it, especially when the man comes for you, the feedback is like a mirroring effect, can make his head scatter. Then he wants to look around and misbehave. Some are inherent. They were just polygamous by nature. But some too, they want to make an effort to be there. Okay, so the woman should give that feedback. I am also stable-minded for you. I've got your back. There are women who've got their men's back 100%. They're like, they are guys' best friends. Like even when a guy sees a woman, he can tap. Like, I know you like girls who carry it. This girl is passing. Then they both laugh. You have killed his attraction towards that woman. Because a man wants to be who he is around you. But if you create a judgmental screen, meanwhile you yourself too can be questioned. Okay, so we need to work both ways in order to have better men in better relationships. That's what I can say.
Dr. Danny.
Yeah. So if we are talking about adolescents and relationship and how they turn out to be certain ways, then obviously they are not in relationship with themselves. They are not in relationship with themselves. They are in relationship with female partners. Yes. And now let's not go there. We don't want to talk about the male thing at all. So if they are in a relationship with their female partners as adolescents, which we are guiding them through, then the female should as well understand that if the young boys are with them and they truly want to be with them, then it's a mutual thing, not that emotional blackmailing thing that they put the boys through, make the boys feel like if you don't do this, I'm off to this guy.
Yes.
Boys are threatened so much by that kind of thing. And when you do that, he finds a way or finds another woman that attracts him almost the same as you do.